Major Emergency Management, Preparedness, and Initial Response. Lesson number 1 of 7. This lesson is offered to you by Rig Move and Jacking Operations MasterClass.
Rig Move and Jacking Operations Masterclass. Tailored courses, on demand, on board, anywhere in the world, recognized certification by the Nautical Institute, London, UK.
Major Emergency Management, Preparedness and Initial Response.
Content of lesson number 1 of 7. Different types of major emergencies. A sample major emergency cause explained. Causes of major emergencies.
Learning outcomes. After this complete lesson you will be able to identify the different types of major emergencies. Identify different causes of major emergencies. Prepare for major emergencies. Understand the Swiss cheese model by James Reason.
Before we start with the lesson, disclaimer. The emergency plan of your rig of company is telling you exactly how you must plan, exercise and manage emergencies. You must operate your rig, always within the allowable safe limits, this to avoid damage and/or emergencies. The illustrations, and the numbers given during the course, are only for learning purposes. Plans and procedures can variate on rigs and companies. Therefore you must study and understand your rig's emergency plan and procedures before any operations can take place.
Let's start with lesson number 1 of 7.
Different types of a major emergency. There are 3 different states of major emergencies.
A major emergency, which is controllable through preparedness and accurate management. A major emergency which escalates and is not under control. A major emergency which is not controllable by the emergency manager.
A major emergency, which was not controllable by the emergency manager, was Piper Alpha 120 miles of Scotland at the North Sea in 1988.
Rig Move and Jacking Operations Masterclass. Tailored courses, on demand, on board, anywhere in the world, recognized certification by the Nautical Institute, London, UK.
The causes of major emergencies can be
Man overboard, MOB. A spill on deck, or overboard. Environmental forces. 1. Wave impact, tsunami. 2. Wind forces, tornadoes or cyclones. 3. Lightning or thunder.
A collision. Fire on board. Rapid penetration. Or punch through on jack-up barges. Stability loss. Through flooding compartments.
A chopper landing incident. And so on.
Coming back to the major emergency with Piper Alpha. This was a typical outcome of the Swiss cheese model by James Reasons.
The Swiss cheese model by James Reasons, explained.
James Reason's Swiss cheese model is a simple metaphor to visualize how patient harm happens based on a systems approach. This metaphor shows us that in a complex healthcare system, errors are prevented by a series of defenses barriers, and safeguards, represented by slices of cheese. Each slice acts as a defense against things going wrong. Ideally, all slices should remain intact, but each barrier has unintended weaknesses, or holes, which are inconsistent and are constantly opening, shutting, and moving, hence the similarity with Swiss cheese. If an error occurs and breaks through a hole in one slice, it isn't a big problem. It doesn't usually result in a bad outcome. But sometimes the holes line up in multiple slices, meaning all the defense layers have been broken. When all holes are momentarily aligned, it brings hazards into contact with patients and causes them harm. The holes in the defenses arise for two reasons: active failures and latent conditions. Active failures are unsafe acts committed by people who are in direct contact with the patient or system. They take a variety of forms: slips, lapses, mistakes, and violations. Active failures have a direct and usually short-lived effect on the integrity of the defenses. Slips occur when a correct plan is made but is incorrectly executed. For example, you meant to drive to the airport but went into mental autopilot and took the route to work instead. Lapses occur when a step of the plan is omitted or forgotten. For example, you meant to set an alarm but forgot, so you overslept. Mistakes occur due to misinterpretation of relevant rules. For example, you interpreted your flight check-in time as 8 a.m. but arrived at the airport late. Violations occur when a person knows the rules but doesn't follow them, not with any intention to cause harm, but to save time or complete a priority task. For example, you were late for your flight and drove in excess of the speed limit. The police stopped you, resulting in a delay. Latent conditions are hidden in the design and working of the system, environment, or equipment. They may lie dormant in the system until they combine with an active failure to create an opportunity for harm to occur. Latent conditions can cause some of the opening and closing holes in defenses through ineffective training, inadequate supervision, ineffective communications, and inadequate staffing. Long-lasting holes in defenses can be caused by ineffective equipment, unworkable procedures, and poor design of devices, equipment, or supplies. The systems approach demonstrated by Reason's Swiss cheese model regards failure as an inevitable result of human systems and believes that countermeasures should be based on the idea that we cannot change the human condition, but we can change the conditions under which humans work.
What went wrong on Piper Alpha? July 6 at 21:45, an alarm sounded in the control room. 1. A failure at condensate pump B. Pump A was already shut down for maintenance, and the second one needed to be shut down too. This means that both pumps were going to be offline soon. Both pumps offline cannot be accepted for a longer period, without a complete shutdown of the installation. 2. Decision was made to put pump A, under maintenance, back online, holding maintenance. But nobody knew that pump A had a fatal flaw in it. 3. During maintenance the safety valve of pump A has been removed. There is nothing to stop thousands of cubic meters of gas escape into the atmosphere now.
Only 10 minutes later at 21:55. The disaster happens. A spark ignited the escaping gas, followed by a huge explosion. The crew is exposed to the 700 degrees hot flames. They all are either death, or severely injured due to this major explosion. Hell was breaking out, witnesses said.
July 6, 1988. 120 miles northeast of Scotland. The Piper Alpha oil rig. At 14,000 tons and 2.5 times the height of the Statue of Liberty, it is one of the largest rigs in the world.
Piper Alpha was the world's most successful oil rig. What that means was that in a single day, Piper Alpha produced more barrels of oil than any other oil rig or oil platform in the world.
A crew of 226 rotate shifts to keep the oil and gas flowing. Jeff Bollins is the chief control room operator that evening. At 9:45 p.m., Jeff suddenly hears an alarm, indicating a problem with one of the rig's condensate pumps.
Them condensate injection pumps tripped more than any other equipment we had. No panic, we knew we needed to get it back on because it was going to start affecting production.
That evening, Pump A is offline for maintenance, leaving just Pump B working. The same pump that's now been shut down by the alarm's trip system.
The condensate pumps were an integral part of the production facility. You couldn't have them both offline for any great length of time without shutting down everything.
To avoid a full shutdown, a decision is made to halt maintenance on Pump A and bring it back online. But what nobody knows is that Pump A has a fatal flaw. During maintenance, its safety valve has been removed, meaning that there is nothing to stop thousands of cubic feet of gas escaping into the atmosphere. The faulty pump is switched back on. Then, at 9:55 p.m., disaster. A spark suddenly ignites the escaping gas, and an explosion rips through the rig. Confronted by 700-degree flames, most of the 226-strong crew are now either dead or severely injured.
The nearest analogy is that it was a cross between Titanic and the Towering Inferno.
All hell was breaking loose on that rig. It was just a scene for hell. It's the only way you could describe it, a scene of absolute carnage and hell. Flames, explosions, debris. Things were escalating so fast at that point that it was almost impossible to take things in.
By 10 to midnight, less than 2 hours after the initial blast, the Piper Alpha is on the verge of collapse. Finally, the rig's legs start to give way, and the Piper Alpha starts to slide into the sea.
Where A module was, and the rest of the platform just started drifting apart. And the other 3/4 of the platform just very slowly fell into the North Sea. That's my worst memory of the night, because I know for people who were still on it, it would have gone to the bottom of the sea.
A total of 167 men lost their lives that night. Just 61 survived.
Rig Move and Jacking Operations Masterclass. Tailored courses, on demand, on board, anywhere in the world, recognized certification by the Nautical Institute, London, UK.
Nautical Institute, recognized training certificate, after successful completion, of Rig Move and Jacking Operations Masterclass. This was a complementary part of Lesson 1 of 7, and part of the complete Major Emergency Management, Preparedness, and Initial Response course. To proceed and learn all about Major Emergency Management and get certified, kindly contact us at the below email address, please. Thank you very much for your interest in our courses. And, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to make more free lessons possible.
Subscribe, like, share to our YouTube channel to stay tuned with training and the hottest job openings in the industry.